Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about my day 3, day 4 progress. So what you're currently seeing in the background is me fighting Feared in the background over on my live stream on twitch.tv/Palsteron, and basically this was kind of at the end of day 3 after we got some more gear improvements. We also did Sirus and all the other invitations, including the new invitation, which is the Conquer invitation, and I could just tell you, be careful when doing the new Conquer invitation. It's actually, in my opinion, harder than the hidden, which is all the breach bosses, which is famously hard. But yeah, I would say that the Conquer invitation was actually harder than Feared, but that was mostly just because I had some really bad mods in there. I had the auras have less effect in there, which I didn't see, and then my lightning res wasn't kept, and you can imagine what happened with Baron in there. So I had multiple deaths in the Conqueror one, and I actually did the Feared deathless. Sirus was pretty easy, honestly. I'm not exactly sure if they said it, but it seems like it's Awakener 8, not Awakener 9. So there wasn't really much problem there, but as you guys know, Sirus is more about kind of knowing the fight than actually having the gear for it. So here we are with the character. We've been leveling quite a bit since we're not really dying anymore. My new aura setup is basically done. I'll talk all about it. We're level 94 right now, and basically we've invested quite a bit now. So we made some more monies, right, because we killed all of those bosses. We also have an interesting new farming strat. We completed the Atlas. I'll talk all about it. Something that I get a lot in the comment section is, well, Palsteron, you're changing your build around constantly. How can I follow, right? Number one, that's actually why I make these update videos. But number two, since a lot of people seem to not know this, my profile is always open. There will never be a time where my profile is hidden. So you go to import here, you type in my name, Palsteron, right? So number one, you can just look at my profile, right? But this is the even more sophisticated one, I guess. You type in my name here, you go start, right? And then you go Archnemesis, and there it is, the character, right? If you have more characters, you can also scroll down here, see where it is. Passive tree and jewels, click. Items and skills, click. Everything's in here at any point. You obviously have to tick anything yourself if you want to see damage or whatever, but everything is in here. Nothing is hidden. Always open. Go for this. And as for items, our bow is still not upgraded. We still have this shitty +2 bow, right? We're going to craft this right away as soon as we can. The goal is still the same with the explosive arrow enchant. We have the artillery quiver here, which usually you would want a 2-point arrow quiver for the accuracy to make things easier. The only reason I went for this one is because it has fractured attack speed, so it made it very easy to get a lot of good rolls on there. All I had to do is basically go for essences, and I went for the Deafening Essence of Doubt. This will give you 481 to 600 accuracy rating, just straight up, which will make gearing a lot easier. We hit T2 life, a little bit lightning damage, and we had an open prefix. You definitely want to have damage over time multiplier later if you can, because that's like, we have almost no damage over time multiplier, so getting like 20 of that would be probably 10% more damage straight up. Other than that, we went for a new amulet, a new unique amulet, and that is Ashes of the Stars. So this amulet is very, very interesting. In the experience gain of gems is cool and all, but it has three strong lines here, right? +1 to level of all skills. Number one is huge, right? It's not +2, like a rare Emmy would still be GG, but it's very, very strong. But what it also does is it has up to 20% increased reservation efficiency of skills. And basically, this makes it able for us to reserve Precision, a low level one, Purity of Elements, Defiance Banner, Grace, and Determination at the same time. Now, to make this work, we also have the Grace mana reservation efficiency here, the mastery, and then we also have obviously this full cluster with sovereignty. And what you have left after that is a character with 7 mana. Well, we have everything on life tab now, just as I did in the end game build. If you guys remember, I put out an end game guide and life tab was in there. And life tab basically just makes it so everything is being cast on life, as you can see here, and with region, you don't even see it. Now, on top of that, this Emmy has something that's actually not that good, which is the 20% quality of all skill gems. Now, the thing right now with Explosive Arrow is you don't really want the quality, because the quality gives you duration, right? But 20 quality is okay. So this basically makes it so with 20 quality, your duration from the Explosive Arrow goes from 1 second to 1.2 seconds, right? If you have no other duration. So if you have this Emmy, what you definitely want to do is you want to respec the duration. If you guys remember, we were taking the skill effect duration because a little bit of duration is rather nice, right? So we removed that and we went for the 10% less damage taken from damage over time, which is very nice against some of the poison damage we're taking, for example. But yeah, that is important to note. Do not run this and the 15%. And also a good roll on this, the perfect roll on this would be as low quality as possible and as high mana reservation as possible. But just to state this again, this is not our end game Emmy. Our end game Emmy would be a +2 amulet, so +1 to fire and +1 to all skills, and then on top of that maybe have some life, maybe have some fire dot multi, right? It would be better than this, but the thing is the reservation here is very nice until we get an enlighten, right? If we have a level 4 enlighten, we can also do this, but yeah, then we just have to, this is basically an open socket here, that would be the enlighten 4, which you cannot afford at this point, but this is basically a placeholder, and it is just in general just a very nice placeholder. It has a lot of quality of life. Another update we made was Polaric Devastation. This ring is absolutely incredible, but also extremely expensive. As of this recording, it's 6 exalts. I think I bought it at like 4, but they just shot up in price. I remember they were at like 1.5x at some point, but yeah. This is like a must-have for basically any fire-based build and any cold-based build. It is incredible, right? It gives you a lot of res. It has it's an opal ring, so it has 25% LE damage. The crit is for whatever for us. We get 15% duration, which isn't bad at all. And then we get, if you have it in the left ring slot, so don't forget to put it in the left ring slot, cover enemies in ash for 5 seconds when you ignite them. And basically, if you go over this, what covered in ash means is enemies that are covered in ash have 20% less movement speed and take 20% increased fire damage. This is a huge more multiplier and something you would usually have to take a whole ascendancy for, right? Just absolutely huge. Other than that, we played a little bit around with our gloves. Basically, we're just trying out some of the new currency, right, that we were dropping. This Eldritch Ichor and the Eldritch Ember, right? And we hit something okay. We got a little bit of spell suppress, a little bit of attack speed, so we kept this. You want a armor evasion base if you can. You need evasion base because you want that only those can roll the spell suppress. And you want armor because armor is the best possible stat end game because it makes your molten shell bigger. Now, Ziri's step is basically just a filler. Rare boots with a ton of life, maybe some resistances. Chaos resist would be crazy good. Would be way better than this evasion, but it is what it is. For now, it's a good placeholder. Also, we got a Daedian Dawn, which is very, very strong. Now, I don't remember if we had this in the last video, but you want to quality this with elemental damage catalysts, right? Then it can go up to 42. We're at 41 right now. When we find the last one, we get to 42. Other than that, we got ourselves a body armor. And basically what we bought here is, if you go over here, you can see Guatelizis is like a life, percentage life hybrid mod, and that's a temple mod, right? We want that plus spell suppression plus, I don't know, some other stats. I would prefer like chaos res or maybe some flat region would be very, very nice, but we got like res, which is whatever. And we also put in some armor and evasion on top. So before we ran Belly of the Beast, which is very, very nice for the start, but since we are now 100% spell suppression, we need our body armor to have spell suppression, otherwise you're not gonna get there. Other than that, our last ring is just to fix up some accuracy, life, and resistances. Another big purchase that we made was the Unnatural Instinct right here. And as you can see here, this gives us all of these stats, which is actually incredible. And what this means is basically you can cut the whole Avatar of the Hunt cluster, and you still get all of these small nodes, and you also get these small nodes here. So this one is very expensive. As of this recording, it's like 5x. So only get it if you have the monies. Otherwise, you just allocate Avatar of the Hunt. What we also did to help a little bit with the accuracy was we got a split personality with accuracy and armor. And basically, the yellow thing you can see here throughout my passive tree is basically it counts the way from our starting area up to down here to the split personality. And depending on how far it is from the start, we get more and more accuracy and armor. GG would be accuracy and life, but it was too expensive as of this recording. So we just went with accuracy and armor for now. Not too bad at all. This is only to fix up accuracy until we can invest into a lethal pride, which we're going to do like I did in the endgame version, right? Other than that, what changed? I pathed up here to Hired Killer. This is huge for mapping. 2% life on kill, which counts for you if your totems kill with ignites, right? We also get a little bit of movement speed with Harrier, right? So yeah, and don't forget the Grace mana reservation efficiency. Otherwise, I don't think I changed much. Oh yeah, the cluster setup. One sec. Actually, the cluster setup changed. So quick recovery first is basically just a ton of life and some life regen, right? The mana regen doesn't do anything because we're on life tap. And then we have the cluster setup, which is also basically the same as in the end game version, but so far I couldn't really afford to have 3 notables, so it's just like prismatic heart here and some elemental damage. But it's important to get the medium cluster, which is sleepless sentries and snaring spirits, just, yeah, as I said in the end game version. So now we get onslaught from here. You don't need death rush or anything anymore. And you also get the hinder nearby enemies, which stacks on top of the covered in ash, right? For to slow enemies quite a bit. What we will do next with our points once we level up again is we'll get a small cluster jewel that gives us enduring composure, which will give us endurance charges. And once we have that, we're also going to take this 1 point endurance charge over there. Other than that, also a change we made is we went away from frenzy plus hex touch, right, to apply our flammability. We instead just put the flammability on the Arcanist brand now. So whenever you throw an Arcanist brand, it casts Flame Surge, then it casts Flammability, and so on and so on. And Frenzy is basically just on life tap. And that's basically just to save us a gem socket. Now, other than that, we were we were just farming quite a bit. So what we did is we went for the Shadow of Hunger plus the whole Rampant Growth cluster to make some currency. These altars are actually pretty crazy. You're kind of printing scarabs and the lesser Eldritch currency. And what we did is we farmed canyons. Now, you don't have to like replicate this. You can take whatever map you want, right? The more you unlock on this side, the more bosses you kill, the more reliable it will be to actually sustain these maps. The only thing we haven't done yet is kill Maven, so we don't have this Void Stone or this slot here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this Atlas tree right here, right now. You can maybe make a picture if you wanna, but there will be a lot of changes. I just want to say that I'm definitely gonna spec out of this here. I'm not confident enough to put a video out just now or give you this Atlas tree just right now, right? But you can copy it if you want to. This will be suspect to change. And I don't want to bait you guys into having to respec your tree later. So I just want to tell you what I'm doing right now. And that's basically just, I'm going for all the Essence nodes, I'm going for all the Strongbox nodes, and I'm going for all the Shrine nodes. And that's basically just because those do not slow you down while mapping, which is very nice. So you can get into maps more and get more out of these altars. But yeah, that's basically it for this update. Now we just have to kill Maven, which we're gonna do right away. Basically, we gotta craft a +3 bow, gotta get an Enlightened 4 maybe. We'll see how it goes. First we have to make some more currency, so we're off to the races, gonna see what happens. But yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna put out another update video. I hope your Elixir has been going well. Other than that, since I still don't have a slogan, see you next time.